Good evening, everybody. This is Carl and Cathie Firestone coming to you live from Winter Garden, Florida. We are so excited to be on with you. We want to welcome our guest tonight. We're so excited that you're here. And man, have we got a show for you tonight. Some exciting things happening in the world of Lifewave, you guys. And especially this little guy right here, X39, the game changer. 86% of revenue of a $600+ million company this year. So it's exciting to be on with you. Cathie and I have a special guest tonight. We'd like to welcome Jim Seith. We'll get you on here in a little bit. I've made you co-host, Jim, with Joe Fazio. Wait until you guys see what is happening with Jim's health and his recovery. Absolutely remarkable stuff.
We are going to be talking tonight about this amazing wearable technology called X39. So the question of the evening is, have you been patched yet? If you have not, be sure you get with the person that invited you on tonight. They're going to make sure you get a patch. We're going to talk about what it is, why you want to wear it, and how you get it tonight. But before we do that, it's really important that we let all of you know that this amazing technology does not cure, treat, prevent, mitigate anything. What it does in its simplest terms is put your body in a natural reboot, and then your body can do what Carl and I believe our bodies were designed to do, and that is heal itself. And we now have been involved for over 2 years. I can tell you this technology has completely transformed our physical health and our financial health. And we're going to share both with you tonight. So again, if you haven't been patched yet, make sure you get with the person that invited you and get your patch. So this is David Schmidt, and David is the CEO of the parent company called Lifewave. But what's interesting is that not only is he the CEO, he's also the inventor. He is the scientist behind this amazing technology. And he personally holds over now 150 patents.
Incredible.
Which is just remarkable. He is a true scientist and an inventor, and he specializes in age reversing. And in 2008, he turned his attention specifically to stem cell research. And that's the question Carl and I were asked just over 2 years ago now, when our dear friend Steve and Gina Merritt called us and said, "Hey, Carl and Cath, what do you know about stem cells?" We didn't know a whole lot. We knew what probably most of you know, that there are people that get stem cell injections. They're super expensive. They're localized, meaning they don't work throughout the body. They are oftentimes bringing stem cells into your body from questionable, at best, sources. A lot of times people have to travel outside the country. There's no guarantee that they're going to work. And they stay
localized, right? So it's not a good bet, right? You guys, for the money. Steve was telling me that the doctors that he was a pro athlete, by the way, for 25 years. He had 14 major surgeries throughout his career and after. And the doctors kept trying to convince him to take these stem cell injections, but they acted like he had $25,000 in his pocket each time. Yeah, and you have to go back multiple times often, and there was no guarantee. And he said, Carl, the strange thing about it is they were localized to the area of the injection. And I said, Steve, why are you asking us all about stem cells? And he said, well, what he also learned during those discussions with his doctors was that by the age of 30 years old, half of our own stem cells go stagnant. And he asked us if we knew that. I said, no, we didn't know that. And I said, well, what about 60, Steve? Because I'm fast approaching 60. And he said, Carl, you probably have 2 left, and they're at the time clock right now getting ready to punch out. The truth is, by 60, over 90% of our stem cells are dormant, doing nothing for us, right? And you may remember when you were, not so long ago, right, guys? Time goes fast. So when you were a kid, you fell, you scraped your knee, and then it seemed like hours to a day, your knee had no evidence that there was a scrape or cut there, right? You just healed very fast. And the reason for that is as children, we're loaded with stem cells. But as we age, normal course of aging, they just slow down and go down. Well, this wearable technology called X39, the star of the show, lights those stem cells back up, literally, and puts them back into play in your body, and that's where the miracles happen.
That's right. And this little amazing technology took 10 years and $4.5 million of research. Thank God David Schmidt didn't give up at year 9. Right?
Stamina.
Yeah,
Stamina.
absolutely. So this is one of the things that's really exciting about this technology, and that is it is patented, my friends. And for any of you out there that know what a U.S. patent is, that means protection. It means exclusivity for 20 years. There's the U.S. patent number right there. You can look it up, Google it, read it in its entirety if you'd like. You can see on the right-hand side of your screen, this one was issued in July of 2020, which gives us about 16 more years of exclusivity to run and share this technology with as many people as we can. David's vision for this is that this technology will touch 1 billion homes. And so we are well on our way, and we are inviting you tonight to join us, because I can honestly tell you it is the most rewarding thing Carl and I have ever been a part of.
Yeah, you guys, it really is exciting. It truly is a game changer. And not just physically. When you look out there at your friends and family, neighbors, community, there's a lot of people hurting. And they're hurting physically, but you know where else they're hurting? Financially.
Yeah.
Their pocketbooks need reactivated, right? You guys, there is a very lucrative opportunity associated with this. And I'm telling you, there's freedom in it. There's freedom in it. So get excited about that as well. What we're learning as we build this business is people are equally, if not more sometimes, excited about the freedom side that comes with this, because the product is so remarkable and protected with this patent. We have 16 more years to build a legacy for our families. I mean, it's pretty exciting. So here we go.
So what you see in the top left is the abstract. That's the summary of the patent. And we've pulled out an excerpt there that says embodiments as a result of elevating copper peptide. There's a term to Google. If you're a science geek like me and you want to know why all of this works and how it works, Google copper peptide and you can literally read for the next year. There are decades of research done. There's been decades of research done on copper peptide. It's a naturally occurring peptide in our bodies that does a whole host of amazing things for us. But guess what? As we age, it diminishes until now. So this technology elevates your copper peptide, and then that in turn does a whole host of wonderful things, including reactivate your own dormant stem cells. And that's why this product is so amazing. So Carl touched on this already. Why would you want to wear it? The fewer stem cells we have, the faster we age, the slower we heal. Hundreds of millions of people are experiencing symptoms of aging. Again, by age 30, you've got half of your stem cells still working for you. By age 60, you've lost almost all of your stem cell activity. So how does it work? This is a proprietary form of phototherapy. It's light therapy. Best analogy is what happens when we go out into direct sunlight. Our bodies harness the energy from the sun. A chemical reaction takes place internally, and our own levels of, vitamin D are elevated. So this technology works similarly, except we don't need an external energy source. Why? Because we all emit heat and light 24/7. That's how we were designed by our creator. So think about the last war movie you saw. Hopefully it's the good guys, right, that have the night vision goggles, and they can see the bad guys in the jet black of night. Why? Because we're all emitting that low-level infrared light 24/7, and that's what those night vision goggles pick up on. So what David Schmidt has done brilliantly is in the inside of this patch, which is non-transdermal, by the way. That means nothing enters your body, no chemicals, no pharmaceuticals, no stimulants, nothing. You just peel the paper like a Band-Aid off the back. You can stick the patch anywhere. And in the center, that opaque circle in the center, that's where the magic happens. That's encapsulated there as a patented nanocrystal technology. Now, don't panic. When I heard nanocrystal, to be honest, I kind of freaked out a little bit. I'm like, I don't want anything to do with crystals. It's a crystalline structure. It kind of looks like a lattice. That's how David describes it. And it's amino acids, sugars, and salts, all from organic plants, in a very specific configuration. And it acts like a very sophisticated mirror. So check this out. You put this patch on your skin, your own body's light leaves your body, hits that center. That center reflects the specific wavelength of your own light back into your tissue, and your copper peptide is naturally elevated. And then it reactivates your own dormant stem cells. It is incredible. And again, it's non-invasive. And what I like to share with people is we all know the things we should be doing every day for optimal health, right? Sleeping 7 to 9 hours, eating a ton of fruits and vegetables and lean proteins and whole grains, and drinking a ton of water and exercising, more times than not through the week. How much of that do we all really do, right? Yep, I'm to blame too. But will I slap a patch on every morning? You better believe it.
You guys, I love this part about it. It's so simple, right? That even a contractor like me can do it. You may not see me jumping on a treadmill 7 days a week, but you will see me slapping on a patch. Very simple, few seconds. It's on your skin and you're out the door. You go throughout your day.
Yeah.
Very non-invasive. Physically to your body, but it's very non-invasive to your lifestyle as well.
Yeah.
And the results speak for themselves. So here's a short list of some of the benefits of wearing X39 over some time. Increased strength, reduced inflammation, that's a biggie. Increased stamina, energy and vitality, mental clarity.
Huge.
You guys, this is a big one, and this is near and dear to our hearts, and I know Joe and Jim as well are going to share some of this tonight. There's a lot of people out there that are suffering with mental clarity and all brain fog and all the other, names and things they give it, PTSD, anxiety, depression, you name it. You guys, this is a big deal. Watch what happens to people when they wear this over time. Again, not making any health claims or
patch
medical.
Isn't doing anything. Your own body is resetting.
Big in that area.
And healing yourself. Yeah.
Big in that area. Restored muscle or skeletal conditions, improvements in sleep.
Huge.
Improvements in skin appearance. Our 24-year-old son was a big benefactor of X39 for his skin. Luke had cystic acne. You guys, it was horrible for him. Being a young man, he was very self-conscious, right? And he was hurting, and visibly, it was rough for him. All over his face, his neck, his back. And we asked him, Luke, would you like to try some X39? Stem cell reactivation. And he said, sure, I'll try anything. You guys, 5 weeks. 5 weeks on X39, and day by day, you could just see the swelling, the redness going down and down and down. At the end of that 5 weeks, it was gone.
And it has not come back.
Yes.
And that's
Think
incredible.
of that for a young man,
Yeah.
and parents too. You don't like to see your children suffering, but his whole self-esteem improved, right? He was smiling and lifting his head more.
Yeah.
And I told him, Luke, the girls are going to be calling. They're going to be calling. So we just love it. We just love it.
Super
Check this
exciting.
out.
So this is crazy. I don't know about you, but I'm a visual learner. So show me a graph, show me a pie chart, show me a bar graph. I get it. This is what's called a topography map. And one of the many things I love about Lifewave, and specifically about David Schmidt, is that he surrounds himself, not only is he a brilliant scientist, but he surrounds himself with equally brilliant researchers, scientists, MDs that do a ton of clinical studies. The science behind this technology is rock solid, period. This is a topography map. It measures inflammation, and this participant was a 77-year-old woman in one of David's many studies. She placed X39 at the back of the base of her neck, and you can see her results. Session 1 there on your left-hand side of your screen is her baseline. That's before she started patching. Anywhere you see red, those warmer, hot colors, if you will, that's a signal of inflammation, and this was specifically looking at her brain. And the notes there are inflammation in her brain, lack of brain coherence, not what you want. You want your brain to communicate with the rest of your body well, right? Check out session 2 in the middle of your screen. This is 3 weeks, not 3 months, not 3 years, 3 weeks on X39. Look at the difference. You can see the red's completely gone. There's a tiny bit of orange there in the center. The notes there speak for themselves. No more inflammation, improved brain coherence. The final picture, session 3, is 6 weeks in total. You can see it just improves. Complete turnaround, better brain coherence. The reality is, this is not just this precious 77-year-old's brain. It's my brain, it's Carl's brain, it's your brain. It's everyone you know. We all struggle with inflammation, and it's not just our brains. It's our hearts, it's our lungs, it's our stomachs, it's our nervous system. Every system in our body can be wrought with inflammation. Ask anyone you know in the medical profession what inflammation does in the body. When you can lower it naturally,
it's a bad actor.
Amazing things happen.
Bad actor. So here's some of the long-term results of wearing X39, and not just per Carl and Cathie, you guys. Again, this is on the case studies you can find on thisisit.info.com. And we would encourage you, if you have any questions regarding this product, you don't need to come to us or the person that shared this with you. Do your own due diligence as you patch, as you put this on your skin. Start paying attention to everything: vision, mood, energy, sleep, skin, pain, strength. I mean, from top to bottom, okay, literally from top to bottom, and give it time. Be persistent. Watch what can happen. But in the first few days of wearing the patch, 4,000 genes begin to reset.
Yep. Again, don't panic. This is another one. When I heard it, I'm like, I don't want my genes to reset. I don't want anything interfering with my DNA. It doesn't happen. What happens is that as we age, think about a light switch, turning it on and off. Some of the genes in our body as we age should stay on, but they shut off. Others should shut off, but they stay on. What happens when you reactivate your own dormant stem cells is that they reset a third of your genome, 4,000 genes, back to a younger, healthier state.
Tell them about resveratrol.
Yeah, and this is within days. Again, it's unbelievable to me that we get to be a part of this technology within days. So yes, Carl mentioned there's a study out on resveratrol, a recent study. Resveratrol's been in the health news for a long time. It's the good stuff in dark pigmented grapes and red wine. It's super great for heart health. It's a natural compound. Resveratrol resets two genes. This technology, using it lets your own body reset 4,000. I'll take my patch any day of the week, right?
Those are good numbers, you guys. Those are good numbers. So within 6 weeks, brains become balanced. I mean, you guys, we all know somebody, including me, that used to walk around with an unbalanced brain. I'd go in a room wondering why I went in that room. I mean, it was getting a little scary, right?
Yeah.
No more. I mean, the clarity that you get, it's a relief.
Are you a sticky note person? I was a sticky note. I should have had stock in Post-it notes. I'm telling you, I had sticky notes everywhere.
It's true.
If you come in my house now, guess what? No more sticky notes, because I can remember. I had to write a list, y'all, to go to the grocery store for 2 things.
It was bad.
I mean, that's bad.
It was bad.
Not anymore.
Within 3 months, our own collagen, your collagen, is increased. This is a big deal.
Huge.
You know, collagen is a big buzzword.
Yeah.
You guys, you don't need to take supplementation to increase your collagen levels. Okay, you can do it right here, clinically proven. There's nothing or nobody else's collagen that's going to do better for you than your own, right? Than your own. This will lift it. Wild. Within 6 months, here's another biggie. That's why they're on the chart here. Your heart reverses in age. We cannot tell you the number of testimonies that we've seen with oftentimes significant heart issues, you guys. Significant. And the heart is reversing and regenerating and repairing. Patch isn't doing it. Your own stem cells are doing it. So it's not anti-aging, it's age reversing. That's a quote directly from David Schmidt, inventor and CEO of X39. So how do you wear X39? It's very simple. Remember, I can do it and I will do it because it's simple and quick. It doesn't interfere with my day. So you wear your patch on, 12 hours on and then 12 hours off to let your body rest and rejuvenate at night. It's always best to wear it during the day, right, because this can give you some significant energy, and you don't want that when you're trying to go to sleep and rest and repair, right? So at night, we like to put them by your toothbrush. Here's a sleeve. There's 30 X39 per sleeve. You get a sleeve of these per month. And put them right by your toothbrush. When you brush your teeth in the morning, you put a fresh patch on. When you brush your teeth at night, hopefully, you peel the patch off, discard it, sleep, rest and rejuvenate, and you start all over again with a fresh patch in the morning.
Right.
And it's very simple. So you can wear more than one patch at a time, but you don't need to. One patch is going to give you what you need. Drink plenty of water. Huge tip. at least half your body weight in ounces and more if you can, and add a quality electrolyte to that.
Yep. And where do you wear it? Great question. Lots of people ask us, well, where should I wear it? All of the clinical studies.
Stick it where it hurts. Stick it where it hurts.
Yes, you can. You can wear it anywhere. All of the clinical studies were done with participants wearing it in the 2 positions you see on your screen. Why? Because you got to control for those variables. So either 2 inches below the belly button or at the base of the back of the neck. But you can put the patch anywhere. And Carl's exactly right. If you've got pain or discomfort in an area, your knee, your low back, your elbow, your shoulder, put it there. You can put it anywhere. It's systemic. So I love that. We talked about stem cell injections. If Carl gets an injection in his shoulder, those stem cells are going to stay in his shoulder. They're not going anywhere. With this, when your copper peptide goes up and your stem cells are reactivated, they go throughout your body. And guess what? Your stem cells know, because they were put there by God to know what your weakest link is or where the weakest link is in your body. And that's what they're going to go fight on first.
That's such a good point. And you know, guys, a lot of people nowadays are kind of leery on getting needles put in their body, right? There's a trust factor there. They can be risky. Injecting stem cells can be risky. So there's no guarantee that everything's going to go perfectly. Matter of fact, I just had a contractor in my home the other day, and he may be on here tonight. I won't name names, but he's the owner of the company, and he's a young man too. He's not even 40 years old. He has spent $45,000 on stem cell injections. I asked, well, how are you doing? How did they do for you? He said, they did nothing for me. And I said, they still expected you to pay? And he said, oh yeah, of course.
$45,000.
$45,000.
Y'all, is $3.37 a day. I know people, and so do you, who spend triple that on a cup of coffee every single day.
X39 is so sophisticated, you guys. It's like the computers, as time goes by, the computers get more and more and more sophisticated, and smaller chips and all that. The technology that is packed in this wafer-thin wearable patch is pretty crazy. So get it on you. The testimonies truly are oftentimes emotional and life-changing.
Yeah.
And the best thing about X39 is it absolutely works, and you're about to see that right now.
I'm so excited.
So we're going to welcome 2 of our friends on. Joe Fazio, take it away, and his friend and our friend, Jim Cease. So go ahead and take it away, Joe.
Wonderful. Thank you, Firestones. And Carl and Cathie, I just want to specifically thank you for doing what you do. You have a God-fearing servant heart. You do this every Thursday night. You persisted with me. I told you no 3 times, and I just want to say thank you for what you do to serve others. My why is my sister. She has multiple sclerosis. I got these patches on her. She is doing fantastically. My sciatica was killing me. I got these patches on. I haven't had to see a chiropractor in over a year. I want to give a special shout out to a couple of former Notre Dame players, Rich Tillman and Mike McCoy. Guys, thank you for trusting me. Between the 3 of us, we have enrolled 35 former Notre Dame football players. And there's one more I want to show you. He just came on board this week. His name is Chris Smith. He is in a wheelchair right now, and it is my prayer and hope that God does a miracle through this technology for Chris, and he gets out of that wheelchair. I was with him this week. It's a little bit emotional for me, but I am praying for this gentleman that he gets up out of that wheelchair and he walks at some point in God's timing. About 2 months ago, I was at another Notre Dame reunion, and Jim and I lost touch over 40 years, but we reconnected. Interestingly, Jim had already done some research on stem cells just because of what his body has been through over the years. Jim took, I think I gave him 5 patches. He quickly latched onto this technology. After Notre Dame, Jim joined the Marine Corps, and he served in Desert Storm and Desert Shield. Jim, I want to thank you for your friendship. I want to thank you for serving our country. Talk a little bit about what your body was going through before the patches, and then where you've come over the next 2 months or so. And for those of you watching, we're going to show one slide that's got a little bit of blood and a wound in it. So if you get queasy when you look at blood, perhaps you could turn away. But Jim, thanks for coming on board and sharing your story.
So it was great seeing Joe a couple of months ago. Like Joe said, we played football together at Notre Dame probably about 40 years ago, which is scary. But so we were catching up, and I shared with Joe, playing football, there's a lot of head trauma. Also, I was blessed not only to have head trauma from being a football player, but from serving in combat with the Marine Corps, where you don't have to be hit in the head to have head trauma when you're around stuff that's blowing up all the time. So we were talking and catching up, and I had mentioned to Joe that I had been out of work for 6 months, where I had to take a medical leave of absence because my head had gotten so bad that I couldn't even sit in front of a computer screen for more than a couple of hours. And I am a portfolio manager, and I manage a portfolio of IT products, which my job requires me to be in front of the computer 6 to 10 hours a day, depending on what my workload looks like. And so I literally couldn't work, took time off, worked with worked with everybody at the VA to try and find out what's going on. Basically what they determined is I had something called CTE, or chronic traumatic encephalopathy. That happens when you're exposed to multiple head traumas. And the way the neurologist explained it, it's kind of like arthritis in the brain, right? So the initial trauma doesn't necessarily have an impact right away that you notice, but over years and years and years, it gets worse and worse and worse. And that's because your stem cells decrease over years. So I trust Joe. I like Joe. I've known him for a long time, even though we hadn't really been in touch. And so Joe, he said, you should try these patches. And I said, yeah, I'm skeptical about stuff mostly, and I'm a science geek. So, but I said, yeah, I'll try it. Joe gave me 5, and I ordered a sleeve. And what I noticed at first was, well, let me go back. Let me take a step back. What I really got interested is when he started talking about stem cells. I had both my hips replaced and from being blown up, and so in 2018 I had both my hips replaced. Before that, I did have the stem cell injections, where they took my own stem cells, spun them down, drilled holes into my bones, and injected the stem cells into my hips. And it cost a lot of money, and it probably bought me about a year, but I still eventually had to have my hips replaced. So I started taking or wearing the X39 patches that Joe gave me, and then by the time I got home, I had received my first sleeve that I had ordered with Joe. And the first thing I noticed is, and I hadn't been on the computer for a couple of weeks as I had been traveling, that my screen time seemed to be going up. And it wasn't a lot, maybe 2.5 hours, 3 hours. But I could sit in front of the computer, and it wasn't just a computer screen. It was any illuminated screen. I couldn't watch TV. I couldn't get on my phone. Wow, you talk about being bored to death in 2024. If you can't watch TV, you can't get on your phone, you can't get on a computer, what do you do? So I listened to a lot of books on tape. But but I noticed that my screen time started increasing, and to the point where I am now, where I really have no limitations. I can be on the computer all day. I've been on the computer for 10 hours today. Before 2 hours, I felt like my head was going to explode. Even when I came back to work after my 6-month leave of absence, I had to wear special glasses. I had to manage my day. To work 10 hours, I had to do a 16-hour day so I could take long breaks in between to kind of let my brain cool down. And so what the doctors had said is that I had CTE. And I don't know, a lot of people know a lot about CTE, but you hear about a lot of famous people. As a matter of fact, a teammate of mine and Joe's at Notre Dame, Dave Dorson, took his own life by shooting himself in the chest because he wanted to donate his brain to science. Because the only way CTE can be confirmed is on autopsy. So what they do is they look at a profile. It's like, you did this, this, and this, and then they start ruling everything else out. They're like, well, it's not ophthalmological, it's not neurological, it's not in the inner ear, and they go through. So I mean, I spent 6 months going to the doctor like twice a week, so they could rule everything else out. And finally, at the end of the day, all they could come up with is you have CTE. We can confirm it on an autopsy, which not a good option, right? So, here's what we're going to do. We're going to send you back to work, but you got to manage your time, and you may be permanently disabled. So the patches, the first thing I noticed was, and that's probably because it's what my body needed most, was that my brain was working better. The illuminated screens were not affecting me. So that was a big deal to me. And it was the whole stem cell thing that got me going. And it's not just famous people who suffer from this. There's 22 veterans commit suicide every day, and as many as half of those can be related to CTE and PTSD. So this is just an issue that's near and dear to my heart. So it was really the stem cell thing that got me going. But what I really started noticing after that was I was sleeping so much better. And I mean, it was crazy because I would have these crazy dreams, and it was because I was sleeping so much deeper, getting into a deeper REM sleep. And what was happening is I wasn't sleeping longer because I thought sleeping better, you'll sleep longer. I wasn't sleeping longer, but when I woke up, I felt like I had slept for 20 hours. And I would jump out of bed, and I have more energy than I have. I'm going to be 60 in 2 weeks, and I haven't felt this good in 20 years. So I'm like, is this these patches? I mean, I was still even a little bit skeptical, and I should have been. But so the sleeping better, the more energy. The other thing I noticed, and I'm not sure exactly why, is I've been a night grazer since I was a kid, and probably a lot of people are laughing and shaking their heads and going, "Oh yeah." I would get up in the middle of the night and eat. So I'd eat all through the night. Every time I got up, I'd go in the kitchen, grab something to eat. So I started tracking that. It was 2,000 to 3,000 calories a night, which is ridiculous. I noticed I would walk into the kitchen to get water because when I would get up, I would be thirsty. But I wouldn't want to eat, and I would look for food because it was a bad habit. But I wouldn't find the food, or I would be like, wait a minute, I'm not hungry, so I'm not eating. And so I've lost 25 pounds in the last 2 months. I don't eat at night, so I feel fantastic. And my A1C, so I am diabetic. I was diabetic, but my A1C has dropped. From in April, it was 12.2, which anyone who knows about diabetes, that's scary bad, to 6.8. So my last lab work was done on July 22nd, and that was for a pre-op because I was supposed to have surgery on my foot. We'll talk about that in a minute. But it dropped to 6.8 is my current A1C, which is still not great, but it's a lot better than 12.2. There's another test that I took that a lot of people probably haven't heard about. Is my own. I requested it because a doctor had told me about it before, and it's called your CRAP, or your C-reactive protein indicator. And C-reactive protein basically tells you how much inflammation you have in your body. Now, you should be under 1. My C-reactive protein in April was 11.6. On my last lab work on July 22nd, my C-reactive protein was 0.2, which means no inflammation in my body. That's normal. Anything under 1 is normal. And this is, if you haven't heard of the C-reactive protein test, it's not part of standard blood work. You have to request it from your doctor to have it. But because I've had inflammation issues, I requested it from my doctor a couple of years ago, and I've been tracking it ever since. And it's never been this low. So it's a good way to measure inflammation. And I don't know if there's been any clinical tests that Lifewave has done to show, but this would be a good one to show, because I have to imagine that it would cause everyone. If I'm seeing these results, probably everyone else is too. But the other thing that stem cells do, and this will be the end of what I'm going to talk about, but I'm going to show you some pictures. Like Joe said, some of these pictures are not particularly pleasant to look at. So, but I'm going to show them, and there's a reason, because I've had some wounds that have healed very, very, very well. This was a head wound that I sustained so back in September, this is what caused me to go on a leave of absence for 6 months. I fell down my stairs and cracked. This was from the CTE. The other problem is I would constantly lose balance and fall. And I fell down my stairs and split my head open. I didn't crack my skull, luckily, but you can't really tell from the picture so much. But I did. You could actually see down to the skull. Back in 2023, I had a bone spur develop. Sorry about my nasty feet, but I had a bone spur develop on my foot, and it kept causing a callus to form, and then the callus would come off, and it would leave an ulcer. And this had been going on for a year, and I was going to have surgery on August 8th or August 9th of this year to have the bone spur removed to stop this from happening, because it would continue to happen. I would go through this cycle, and this was what my toe looked like on May 23rd, which was right after I got back from seeing Joe. I've been taking wearing X39 for approximately a week at this point, so nothing had really changed, but it was so bad that the doctor was talking about, so we're going to try and remove the bone spur. If that doesn't work, we may have to amputate the toe. And if you look at this picture, you can probably understand why amputation was on the table. This is July 25th was my last podiatry appointment. This is the same toe. You can see a little bit of scab. And the doctor actually said, we're going to take a look. He goes, wow, what's going on? I mean, he was blown away. The dietitian and a pharmacist at the VA who I work with were blown away that they couldn't understand. The podiatrist looked at he goes, I don't understand. We've been struggling with this for a year. We were talking about you losing your toe. We had surgery scheduled for August 9th. What's going on? I told him about the patches. You know, doctors, I was a little bit skeptical, but he was interested. So I gave him some information, and he started Googling it right when I was in the office. He goes, wow, this is interesting. So anyways, canceled all my other appointments. I had to see the anesthesiologist and, 4 other people before the surgery. Canceled all that, canceled the surgery. And, that's basically, that was basically the end of my issue with the toe. It's just been a good experience, great experience, life-changing experience for me. I feel better than I felt probably in 20 years. Again, I sleep better. I've lost weight. I just, and I was skeptical, and I'm a kind of a science geek, so I go and look at research. I'm very interested, and I can talk for like 2 hours on the stuff that I've discovered by researching online, but that's not why I'm here tonight. But that is the effect that it's had for me, and I'm very grateful that Joe introduced me to X39.
That was powerful.
I think we can just end now.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was powerful. And as you're sharing your testimonies, I'm sitting here thinking the power of yes, right?
Yeah.
I said yes. I was not going to say yes, but I said yes reluctantly. Then Joe, after 3 times, said yes.
No's, said yes.
Yeah. So, and then you said yes. So, man, you guys, for our guests that are hearing and seeing this tonight, do yourself a favor. Just say yes. You don't have to mortgage the house or the dog to afford X39. It's $3.30 a day plus tax and shipping. It's affordable. And the benefit that you can see, you just saw what Jim was experiencing. It's remarkable. It's remarkable. So, wow. Thank you so much. That was powerful. Sure. Thank you again, Jim and Joe. Appreciate you both so much. And for your service too,
yes,
Jim, especially That's very important to us, and we appreciate you very much for that.
Yep.
Going through that.
All right, so we are going to switch gears here a little bit. First of all, this is the landing page for the product. So isn't it amazing that you don't have to know and learn all the science? You can if you want to, and I certainly wanted to, but not so I could share it with people and talk, ad nauseum about the science. You can point them to a website and they can do a deep dive or a shallow walk, whatever they prefer. And that is this site right here. This is at info.com. This is a product landing page. No personal data is taken on this page. So once they view the information, they have to get back with you to get their patches. So we're going to switch gears here for a little bit. We're going to talk about the opportunity. Lifewave is a 20-year-old company. We are celebrating 20 years this October. And I will tell you, this is the best kept 20-year-old secret you are ever going to find. This company went from 20 million a year, happily going along at 20 million a year until 2021 when X39 launched. They hit 320 million that year. Last year we hit 430 million, and we are on track to do over 600 million this year.
You guys, in this lousy economy, right now, records are being broken. Right now, we are the number one momentum company out of 6,000 companies. We're number one in momentum because of this patented technology.
Which is not a Me Too product, and this is key. When you are looking at this as an opportunity, for the most part, every other company in this space, call it network marketing, relational marketing, direct sales, whatever you want to call it,
they all have
is a Me Too product.
Powders, pills, potions, and lotions, right? Weight loss, skincare, supplements, all that. And I'm sure they're great companies, right? But you guys, in that kind of a marketplace, when there's so much competition, the marketplace gets too noisy.
Right.
And it's really hard to have a breakthrough when you're trying to build a business when everybody can go get comparable products at Costco, Sam's Club, Racetrack, Publix, and every gas station on the corner. But when you have a patented, exclusive product that nobody knows about, but it's proven, you guys are sitting in a real good spot. So don't sit for too long; you'll miss it.
So real quick, what Carl won't tell you, but I will. If this is your first time getting to know us tonight, we will celebrate 28 years of marriage this December. We've been together for 29 years. In that 29 years, this man has owned 7 businesses across 4 sectors of the economy. He's been an entrepreneur his whole life. I can honestly tell you, as sure as I'm sitting here in front of you, I've never seen him as excited, as passionate, or as driven about any business opportunity like he is about this one.
Some of the key points to keep in mind, this opportunity versus conventional business, you guys. I used to have a sub sandwich franchise, 2 global construction companies, a local construction company, small manufacturing, and with those companies, when I tried to grow revenue in those companies, guess what else grew along with it, right? All the headaches, expenses, rent, utilities, employees, stress, time away from family. You guys, this is a beautiful thing. The way this is laid out, when you build a Lifewave business and you come in, you get an initial package, and then you get on subscription for 2 sleeves a month. You'll wear 1 sleeve a month if you're married. Your spouse will wear the other sleeve a month. You guys, that's a $200 investment, which will yield returns for you, and you're wearing the product. You can ride that all the way to the top. As your revenue grows, your overhead is flat. In conventional business, that doesn't exist. And like Joe says, I love the quote that Joe says, paraphrasing, that he'll put this business model up against any other and will crush it. And that's from a prestigious Notre Dame business school grad. So you guys, pay attention. This is big. Here's
number 1 in momentum.
Number 1.
Out of those 6,000 companies in this industry, a 20-year-old company was named number 1 in momentum and number 1 growth company. Y'all, this does not happen with a 20-year-old company, but it is happening right now. You are in the right place at the right time with the right product and the right company and the right team.
Yeah, the leadership is incredible.
Right. Look there again. Yeah, Bravo Growth Award. And these are third-party clearinghouses, if you will, that rate and rank and give these awards. So There we go again. Number one momentum company. So what is most important to you? And that's the question Carl and I always ask. Can you get everything you want and need for you and your family doing what you're doing right now? And let's face it, in the economy that we're all slogging through, the answer for 99% of families is no. They can't. So what's most important? Is it your family? Is it your time freedom? So many people, especially busy professionals, doctors, lawyers, entrepreneurs, business owners, they may be making good money, but they don't own their time.
That's right.
They don't have their time freedom. What about security? Do you like to travel? 1 week from today, I will be in Italy with my mom, my 76-year-old precious mom who's never been out of the country,
So awesome.
getting ready to go on a 7-night Greek Isles cruise completely paid for by Lifewave.
Isn't that incredible, you guys?
So if you like to travel, come with us. We're all going to Punta Cana too in November, and there's still time. Even if you're brand new tonight, we can help you get to Punta Cana. If you like to travel, you have found the place.
You have to ask yourself, when's the last time that your boss offered you an incentive trip that's complimentary? I mean, Gina, our friend Gina Merritt, worked for Delta Airlines for 24 years plus, and they never offered her a free trip. So, you guys, this is a big deal. People love to travel, and it's a lot more fun when you're traveling for free and helping people win and succeed. And one of the other main pluses about this opportunity is the affordability. You don't have to be a wealthy business person, somebody that's able to get their hands on hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars in capital to build this thing. You can come in where you fit in, where you're comfortable, a few $100s, you can get started.
Yep.
It's very affordable, right? And we're going to share some of the packages with you soon, but here's the compensation plan in a nutshell. We're not going to go through a lot of details. We'll send you to thisisitteam.com, thisisitteam.com, and you can click on the Lifewave compensation plan and learn all the details that you want to there. But the basics are you're going to build 2 teams of people.
Yep.
Okay, so if you love people, you care about people, you're going to do great at this. Okay, just have a servant's heart and help the people solve problems for them, and you're going to go far. So you build a left team and a right team, team commissions from everybody that comes in after you.
Yeah.
Everybody that comes in after you in your organization, you can earn up to $25,000 per week in this binary. Okay? Per week. That's where they cap you in team commissions. So don't let that scare you. If you need more than that or have larger, loftier goals than that, that's okay. The next matching bonus is unlimited income potential. You guys, there's people in the business right now that are earning 6 figures per week. So we're talking legacy wealth creation, if that's your goal. But if it's not, Cathie and I, we love this business because it's so convenient to jump on a Zoom. You can build this when you can, if you can. And if you can't, you need to step out for a while. Your business is still there. It's not going anywhere. You can jump right back in when you need to and want to. And it's affordable for the masses.
Right.
So it's a very, very powerful business model. You get paid building leaders and teams is basically how you do this. But all those details are right there at thisisitteam.com.
Yep.
So let's get started, right? You don't want to wait because you want to be in and get the benefits and start doing your due diligence as your team grows. Right? So get in, get the product, and get enough. There's 3 packages Cathie's going to share with you, and which one's best for depending on your goals for your business.
Right. Get in where you fit in. So maybe the person that invited you gave you a paper sign-up sheet. Carl and I are old school. We use paper. Maybe they texted you a link. Either is fine. But we want you to pick the package that's right for you. So if you are intrigued by what you've heard tonight and you are really just interested in trying the technology to see what it can do for you, then silver is where you want to start. That's 3 sleeves of X39. It's a 3-month supply for one person. It's $299 plus shipping and tax. But if you see the vision that Carl and I saw after I think we wore the patches for a week and we were we were like, okay, we got to do this. Then you want to look at gold or diamond. These are the business builder packs. What I love, one of the other things I love about Lifewave is that you can upgrade. So if silver is where you need to start, that's okay. When you can upgrade to gold, and then you can upgrade to diamond. You just pay the difference and the company will send you the extra sleeves of product. Gold is $499.95 plus your shipping and tax. It's 5 sleeves of X39, so a 5-month supply. But diamond is really where we focus with people who want to do this as an opportunity. And there's a number of reasons why we do that. Diamond is $15.99. That's
price.
An initial, and all of these packs, this is a one-time investment in your business. And then from that point, each month, you're going to be on subscription. And in order to maximize the compensation plan, like Carl talked about, you want to be on 2 sleeves of X39 per subscription every month. But these packs are one-time purchases. So that diamond pack is $15.99, again, plus your shipping and tax. It's 19 sleeves of product. So show me another business that you can start for $15.99. We haven't found it. You can't start a landscaping business. We're here in Central Florida for $15.99. No way. And what's awesome about diamond is when you come in as a diamond, or if you upgrade to diamond, the company gives you 90 days to sign as many diamonds as you can. And every time you sign a diamond, during that 90 days, you're going to get a $500 bonus. So if you do the math and you sign 4 diamonds in your first 90 days, your initial investment is paid for and you're in the black.
It's the best value, you guys. It's gonna set you up to win with inventory. So as you enroll people in your team, you can place product with them so they can get started that day when they sign up, or the next morning. And they don't have to wait for their product to come in. When their order does come in, just have them replace those borrowed sleeves back to you. It's a place and replace program. And this is how you build the business quickly, okay?
Yep.
There's the site. If you want to learn about the business opportunity, this is where you need to invest some time. Thisisitteam.com. We recommend going through the compensation plan and going through the 90-day run to manager to senior director. It's all laid out for us right there, how to build this business. There's sampling envelopes and info cards. There's a pro strategy. It explains in detail how to share with people. You guys, it's like a franchise in that regard.
Yeah.
You don't have to have been a business owner or entrepreneur or franchisee in the past to benefit from this. It's all laid out for you. But what you do have to do is submit yourself to the system.
Right.
Okay. When I owned a sandwich shop, I had a franchisee manual that was 4 inches thick, and if we were not putting enough pepperoni on the sandwiches, they would take your franchise. Okay. This isn't like this. This is a volunteer arm. This is your business. You have to be an owner, and you have to take ownership and learn and grow along, but don't recreate the wheel. Just become a good inviter and promoter of these live Zoom. This is how we did it.
Yeah.
We just invited people to see the opportunity on a live Zoom, and you guys, straight to the top. We can't make income claims, right? Our government doesn't like for people to get their hopes up, but we're going to share with you what we can. We're doing consistently for months and months and months, 5 figures per week, and the company, by law, has provided with us an income disclosure statement. So we can share that with people. If you need that, it's out there for you in your back office. You can look at that and see the range of incomes, what people are actually making real time in the business. But I can tell you, it's happening, and it's a lucrative opportunity.
Yeah, so the time is now to make your move.
Yep.
So we would just implore you, before you put your head on your pillow tonight, if you're brand new with us, get your patches coming. What do you have to lose? My goodness. Again, we can't make claims, but we can tell you 2 years, we have a miracle inbox, and you want a miracle inbox. Every morning, every afternoon, every evening, we get texts, we get emails, and they always start the same way. Hey, Carl and Cath, you're not going to believe this. Well, after 2 years, I think we believe just about anything. But you know what? Our bodies were created to do amazing things. And when we give our bodies what it needs, your body can do amazing, amazing things. So we're excited to hear your testimony. We're excited to hear what this technology is going to do for you. And if you so choose, we would love to help you win and succeed in the
Yes.
business too.
Great. Plug in, you guys, facebook.com/group/thisisitteam. You can see all the rank advancements and a lot of stories about
Speaking
how
of
people
which.
are feeling and doing. Hey, thanks for allowing us to share a little bit tonight. This will be recorded. And before we let you go, Kath and I'd like to share a little bit of scripture to close out. This one is very near and dear to our hearts.
Yeah, for sure.
We quoted this scripture many, many times when our little boy was very sick with a congenital birth defect, Luke. And man, this brings back memories. So it's Isaiah 41:10. And it says, "So do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand." Isaiah 41:10.
We
So
love you all. Thanks so much for letting us speak into your lives for a little bit. We'll see you next Thursday. Make it a great week.
yeah, let's go get them. God bless you guys. Love you all. Thank you, Jim and Joe.
Thank you.
Great job.
Good night.
Good night.